Okay. All right. So I'm back with Rhea, and we're talking. This she doesn't know what we're talking about yet, but it's DC and James Gunn and the potential sale of Warner Brothers. I think Paramount put a bid in that Warner Brothers rejected, and I think this has got to be. I saw this on X. I don't think this is. It's hard to know what's true or not anymore. Um, we do know Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca got an extension. Maybe just give your impressions, constructive criticism. You've been a fair critic of where James Gunn is now, and do you think that he's likely to get an extension even if it sells, or because there's a lot of talk online. I don't see even if it sold why they wouldn't. But I've heard mixed results on the Peacemaker finale. I didn't see it yet. I think this is not a. I don't believe this quote is from him. I can't believe it. It's hard. I'd have to double check. James Gunn is rumored to be done at DC Studios with the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery. Gunn previously revealed in August that he had been stressed about the life and death of DC before the Superman release. Now I could just be creative, and I don't have to be concerned with the life and death. I don't see this as this can't be an actual quote. But beyond that, what would you think if they do sell? Do you think James Gunn's going to? Do you think the new owner would want to continue with what he's doing? Why or what's your thought of where they would go if Warner Brothers is sold? I think there's enough there to just let him continue. I don't see any reason to stop him. Or what do you feel about? Did you see the finale of Peacemaker, and how do you feel about the series? And be on. I know you're a constructive critic, so if your honest thoughts on the Peacemaker series and Superman and where DC is right now.
Yeah, to answer your first question, I think if Warner Brothers does get sold to Paramount or whatever studio or entity wants to buy them, I think they'll let James Gunn finish off his current slate, like whatever
Mhm.
projects like are
Yeah,
um in pre-production enough where they can enter production
yeah,
at whatever state they are at once the merger happens or the purchase happens. But anything beyond that, that is in pre production or being talked about or anything like that, I don't, me personally, I wouldn't expect those projects to continue to get developed. Only the stuff that is actively on the conveyor belt
yeah.
to get done, I would imagine would be allowed to finish up, and then the new owners of WB will, I would imagine, come in and make DC part of the or DC Studios more integrated into the overall umbrella of whatever company that purchases them. So like
Hmm.
Skydance owns Paramount, so I would imagine that Skydance would bring in WB, and now that it owns Paramount, there would be um, not so much as a divide as there was with like the Discovery and WB as there is right now.
Okay.
And I can imagine them bringing more stuff together and not so much having division of power
Mhm.
and decisions as far as like creative projects. So that's one thing that I would think would happen. There would be more oversight and less divvying of studio responsibilities. So
Mhm.
that's one thing I think what may happen. And then as far as like the Peacemaker show, I was not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I was talking with Belle about this same question too, like if WB gets sold, and I was like, in the future of like Gunn being the head of DC Studios, and I was like, yeah, like I tried really hard with his vision of DC and giving it a fair shot in my opinion, but every week I was disappointed or underwhelmed with what I watched, and any anticipation that came from the previous week leading into the following week for the next episode, I built up anticipation for the show to get better, and it never did.
Okay.
And I feel like I went in with like goodwill towards,
Yeah,
the future of this universe going forward, but I am not pleased with the amount of time
that's fair.
uh, and optimism that I gave to the projects that have come out so far. Not many um, good highlights or noteworthy highlights other than, oh yeah, I liked this moment or this character seems cool. Like with Creature Commandos, there are maybe a couple highlights or characters that I really liked, but nothing stands out really. And then leading into the Superman movie, where I gave it a 6 out of 10, and I stand by that.
Mhm.
There's more about it that I liked than I disliked, but it's nothing exemplary or exciting. And then leading into there were good enough parts about it that made me interested to hang on and for hope with Peacemaker. And I didn't watch season 1 because I was like, I had the same mindset that I have now where it's just a waste of time. Like, I don't want to extend interest in something that I'm not, interested in spending time on. And after watching Peacemaker season 2, I wish I had never gave that show the time of day.
Wow! Wish I didn't watch it. Okay. No, please be kind to Rhea in the comment section. I know Rhea as a good friend. She wants things to be good. Nothing would make you happier if James Gunn surpassed your expectations, right? And just like, oh, I love Peacemaker, right? You'd be happy for that. But it just didn't work for you. And some things that are the fandom online just does is it can't accept someone else's opinion. She's being honest. You're not going to rewatch it, right? You're not ever going to watch it again. So why wouldn't you want Rhea to be honest? She's just being honest. If me personally, I really like Peacemaker. I just don't like the other stuff. Creature Commandos, Superman was fun once I saw it a second time and focused on the other characters, not Superman. Like I like the Justice Gang, like Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific. I love that and the Justice Gang forming, and there were some great Superman moments in it. But I do feel like James Gunn's DC work is more niche than his Marvel work. And I don't know, how do you feel about the Guardians? Did you like all the Guardians movies?
Yeah, the first Guardians movie is after Black Panther 1 is my
Hmm.
favorite Marvel movie.
Okay.
And it came out before Black Panther, so
Yeah.
for a period of time it was my favorite Marvel movie like ever, and they're still like my favorite group of characters
Oh, really?
in
Ooh.
the MCU for sure. Um, and I liked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a lot, and 3 it was the most emotionally, like, I guess, devastating and
Hmm.
like heart-wrenching, and I actually felt a lot of really challenging emotions and from that movie. But I think I would rather go and rewatch 1 and 2
Okay.
because those I that was when I was like really like a fan of Guardians and the MCU.
Yeah.
Like that was the golden age for a lot of us. So that's why I'm more inclined to watch those. Um, so yeah, that was another reason why I was like pretty interested to see what Gunn would do with DC content and with his work on the Suicide Squad. I enjoyed it. There were some things that, like, what happened with Rick, Rick Flag and Harley Quinn's character and Captain Boomerang and what happened with his character. There were just some things that I felt like it was intentionally trying to move away from what the DCEU was doing with those characters. And for what it was worth, the story, you know, uh, was fine. The characters, I was able to connect with them as being misfits or whatever, and with tragic backstories and stuff like that. But um, that was like I don't know if like I am interested necessarily in his future DC stuff. I really wasn't interested in Peacemaker at all because I despised
But
his
you gave
character.
Peace a chance. You gave Peace a chance for RJ.
Well, with season 1 of Peacemaker, I wasn't interested in watching it because I despised his character in the Suicide Squad for
Oh, okay.
killing Rick Flag, and
Yeah, I was
yeah,
upset too. Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to see more Deadshot, Idris Elba's character.
Yes.
Like, I was hoping that he would at least take some of the memorable characters, like the more memorable characters like Deadshot, and bring him back with an interesting TV show or something, because he had a really rich backstory as well, similar to what is Will Smith's character
Um,
in Suicide Squad? Um,
Deadshot.
is I thought
Hold on.
Idris Elba's character was named Deadshot. Wait, no,
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Yeah, sorry. So Will Smith is Deadshot and Idris Elba is Bloodsport. So
Yeah,
uh yeah, either or. If either one were to come back, probably most likely Idris, but yeah, I liked his backstory, and well, they both have similar backstories, like, with their daughters, but yeah, I really liked I do like aspects of Gunn's work. I just
hmm
don't know if they're strong enough um to bank on that being like the foundation uh for DC content as a whole.
I
So
understand.
sort of like
Some
these.
people feel that not to give in to these fan wars of which some people like Hamada, some people like Snyder, some people like um Gunn. Not to pick a side or anything, but it's been consistent, Warner Brothers, DC, that none of these have a big enough framework for what they want, right? For any of them, really. I mean, there's baggage to Zach and Hamada and all and Gunn, but it's enough to move forward. But I still feel like I wanted it to be a slam dunk, and we wouldn't have these conversations. Like, but it's like, no, it's still DC being DC. These still DC movie. Like, even this new version, we're still getting the same debates and still unsure or uncertainty, and not a slam dunk with the mass market. Like, it depends on who you talk to. Like, what made money or whatever, and merchandising, yeah, but I still don't think it reached enough normies or new audience either. Like, I still think it's niche. I like his. That's why I say I like Peacemaker the best out of James Gunn stuff. I like Guardians of the Galaxy because I think that's his jam. Those are the type of characters he really does well on. I don't see the other characters, the main DC characters that he does as well with. I mean, I really enjoyed some of the Superman, but I don't know. So it's very I also want to say no one I people get mad at me and say you don't know. You don't know. We're in a situation now where everything's up in the air. We have no idea what could happen with the sale. It's in Grace Randolph. I will give her respect. She was right. She saw this a mile away that Zaslav was eventually just going to strip it down and sell it. And we're in a position now where Warner Brothers could be sold. They at least address the offer. I don't know all the moment to moment stuff, like if anyone else is going to bid in now too, but it seems likely that it will be sold. Do you think that's going to happen? It seems like they're in a position it's going to be sold again.
Yeah, I definitely see Paramount being like the one that makes the most sense to me,
Mm-hmm.
because of all the they're really good at like maintaining like this library of like pop culture, music, sort of leaning IPs very that are like very like niche audiences, all
Mm-hmm.
under like, the Skydance and Paramount brand. So pulling that into pulling WB into that world just makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like where was I going with this? Yeah, just to kind of like go back to what I was saying, like I do think that Gunn's immediate slate that he has in
Mm-hmm.
pre-production going forward may be allowed to, finish up, and anything beyond that I think would be more integrated into like Skydance's like unified vision of content going forward, and it may not be as singular decision maker heavy as it is with Gunn right now. At least
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would think would happen.
And then if they try to reboot it again, I'm just gonna be like, I don't even care anymore. Do what you're gonna do. I'll see if the trailer's good. Honestly, I'm not investing any more emotions into wanting DC to succeed. If they try to reboot it again, and then you're gonna have restore the Gunverse, restore the Modiverse, restore the Snyderverse. You're gonna have all those situations and just divide it even more. So thanks for joining us on this DC topic. I'm intrigued. I think everything rests on Supergirl. That's what I think. Millie Alcock. I really do think the future of James Gunn's universe, the weight of it is on Supergirl because it's a different director, right? He
Yeah.
didn't direct that. And that's really, I always said, people got mad at me. I'm like, well, we know James Gunn could direct himself. This universe is going to be a universe until you see how someone else directs within his universe, a movie. And if that's a smash success, then I think if Supergirl performs better than expectations, I think they're going to want to continue this franchise. But I think that's really where it rests on, not even the sequel to Superman. Supergirl's already done. Let's see if we get another character. And that's the one I'm looking forward to the most, too, Supergirl.
Oh, and I think it would be
Lanterns.
really cool to see Gunn's follow up to Superman, Man of
Yes.
Tomorrow. I know a lot of folks have been wanting to see the villain Brainiac in a movie finally. So I'm happy for them. And then I hope that people have watched enough right now in this clip to at least hear me say, like, I'm happy for the people who are happy with what they're getting and what they've received so far.
I mean, absolutely too. We're already on the track. I might as well see the end. I might as well get to the destination if possible. I want to see that too. But definitely, at least getting Supergirl and Lanterns for sure. I think they're both fun. And yes, Lanterns was the other thing. We haven't really had a great Green Lantern, and I'm counting the Ryan Reynolds movie, which I actually had fun with, and then The Hint, Wayne T. Carr. We didn't get to see. We only saw the clips of him online and hints of Green Lantern in the Snyderverse. So we actually get a legit Green Lantern show, and that's something to be happy with, no matter what happens. You can't take away that; it's already done. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one. Let us know what you think's going to happen with DC, because I'm sure someone's got an opinion on that. Anyway, James Gunn. Have a good one.